can't face me in the light. They'll return, but I'll be stronger. God, I want to dream again. Take me where I've never been. I wanna go there. This time I'm not scared. Now I am unbreakable. It's unmistakable. No one can touch me. Nothing can stop me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, dito, Mac. Okay.
Maging neighbors pa.
Di mo alam. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here in the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Summer. This is the final game, ladies and gentlemen, played between MSK versus Acclaim Empire X Fiora Mid. Ladies and gents, I am Shinbu with a 1, 4, and I, and of course my partner here is Coach Arctic at your service. What a very interesting game one.
That was indeed. I mean, absolute.
Nakita ko kayo yung reaction nyo dun sa drop eh.
Parang there's a certain trauma from an analysis standpoint, so I'm kind of worried na, especially since I'm in the analyst spotlight right now, if that's the same thing that happens, then I definitely have my work cut out for me.
Yes, we'll break down into that. Ang dami ko actually gusto sabihin into that, but before we head on to our game, as we mentioned sa standings, ang situation po natin ngayon, do take note that Acclaim Empire X is actually part of the top 4, but they're the number 4. You know, yan yung pinaka, alam mo yun, kitkitan na spot eh, kasi you're like clinging for the playoffs with 5 points to boot, 4-5 the win-loss ratio, whereas MSK is just up next, okay? With 5-4 din, ayan, win-loss, and 6 points. So 1 points lamang ilamang, and that is after that victory. You know, Fiora Mid.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Tapos, medyo may trauma pa ako actually. Pero, yeah, that being said, kung titingnan mo mula yung standings, ang daming room na makahabol pa ng Infuse, ng TNC, ng Jengski. So, Acclaim Empire X has to be very, very careful. They do not want to close this out, go at 0-2 against MSK because mas mahirapan sila lalo.
And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, before we head on to our game, muli, iniimbitahan po namin ang mga working summoners po natin sa aming after-work hangout summonership. Free starter codes, merchandises, and the 40,000 RP prize pool. July 1 po yan. Sabado, simula ng 10 a.m. at G1 Gaming Cafe, Guadalupe. All you need to do is bring your company ID. At kahit wala kang team, if you don't even register as a team, daan ka lang doon, we have something special for you. Of course, mentioning that, meron din tayo sa mga viewers natin. Okay, the match and win promo. I would suggest sa mga nanonood ngayon sa stream natin, the biggest shoutouts, maraming salamat po sa pag-i-invest, sa pag-i-stay dito ng inyong Sabado nights. You know, nanonood kayo ngayon. Tama yan. Tama yan. Sa halip na makipagkulitan kayo sa mga batang may baon na.
Yan.
Okay? Manood muna kayo dito and learn something, a thing or two from the best players, from the best role players in the Philippines, and get a chance to win in the match and win promo. Buksan nyo yung client nyo, i-ready nyo na yung redeem mga prompt doon, and watch out for the code that will pop out. All you need to do is to guess that missing character and you get yourself a chance to win an epic skin.
Oh, yes.
Imperial skin goes to the 250 skin line. Ayan, ladies and gents, kanina full parking is fortune when I was casting with Amplifier yung lumabas. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, once again, isa pang iniimbitahan ko dito is if you have, you know, that creative hand, be sure to join the PGS Digital Fine Art Contest. Details are on esports na garena.ph/PGS. All you need to do is to send a digital artwork that consists one professional player per team ng PGS. So that makes 8 person on that digital artwork. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, muli 1-0 in favor of MSK this time versus AEX for the drafts.
Oh yes, Kenan gonna be banned out right off the bat from Zensho. Nakita nga natin kung gano'ng ka-powerful yung Kenan ni Zensho. And technically, partida. Hirap pa sila sa lane kanina because TG was running a Galio. So, medyo may disadvantage in terms of poking. But in the end, it worked out for him going into mid and late game. So, no surprise right there. There's definitely going to be respect from AEX. And yeah, of course, a quick note right here is Gen V is going to be subbed out for Mirmo. So Mirmo is going to be back in play, of course. A quick background dito kay Mirmo is actually one of the most promising talents for me nung amateur scene day. So
Yes.
transitioning into PGS, I'm really interested in seeing if that'll translate.
And actually, a talent as well na nakita ko sa LCL. Talagang mapapanganga ka sa pagdadala ng mga ADC jigs niya na kalmado lang, no?
Yeah.
Kahit yung mga ADC niyang dala dito ay napaka-squishy. So, look at that. We are gonna be seeing the Elise ban, Lulu ban. First pickup na naman dito. May Galio.
There we go.
Galio. Well, may blue side, first pick privilege yung AEX dito. So, they're gonna be priority to top pick Galio.
I'm interested in seeing whether Mineski can win this game at this point, because like all the games that we've seen at Galio, it's been mostly wins. So this will be a true test for Mineski right now. Technically, dito nahirapan ng IPT nung isang araw because they opened up the Galio, tapos they were trying to set Exocen back in the mid lane. So I wonder what Mineski has up their sleeves to kinda, if they've come up with a plan to stop an OB Galio right now.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so continuing the first rotation ng picks natin dito, rather on to the second rotation. There's a hover onto the Kha'Zix. Alam natin kung gano'ng ka-familiar si Tamsu maglaro ng kanyang champion. Mentioning as well that Awaken here, Vanguard is gonna be defaulting onto the Thresh, which is gonna be faced here by Karma. So we do know, despite the nerfs on the trigger seed dito ng Ivern, it seems so far yung mga Ivern games naman natin, yung impact nyo sa laro okay pa rin naman. And we've known na among PGS teams, team would always love to roll Ivern sa comp nila would be Mineski.
There you go.
So for the bans here, we get a Jace, we get a Fiora. So yan, binana yung Fiora para hindi nila mapick sa mid lane.
Pinigilan nila sarili nila.
But rather, actually, para hindi walang counter kay Galio sa top lane. Ayan. And we also got the Ari and the Syndra ban coming in from Mineski. This time, Exocen. This is what I want to see. And Oriana. The classic ones, those juicy shockwaves. Let's see if that will land. One of the members ng AEX, Mirmo. Okay, locking in, or rather hovering and this time locking in at Kalista. Okay, so we're gonna be seeing a Thresh being delivered by the Fates Call here with this Kalista ADC. And so it might be a Galio in the mid lane.
Yeah,
or Galio top lane, and Sejuani top. Yeah, my guess it's Galio in the mid lane.
Yeah,
try
definitely.
to face the Oriana and to fight. This Sejuani is also another angry guy with a mount on Kled.
There you go. Yeah. And interesting. So Mineski gonna be running the Ivern for themselves. So medyo there's like a little bit of a switcheroo between sides. But at the end of the day, I'm really like AEX's draft so much better than game 1, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So the Galio gonna be sent mid. And yeah,
Sino ba ang magkakagusto sa Fiora mid na ang katapat Cassiopeia? It's very understandable kung ang katapat Galio mid, okay? But this time, siguro let's drop that. Ang hirap lang mag-move on. Pero let's drop that. This time, it has a nice draft.
Definitely.
AEX.
So yeah, of course for AEX, we have seen how powerful that Galio is in the mid lane with that teleport lalo. And then another thing that's to look out for here is Mirmo on his Kalista. This is another one of the champions that he has actually made signature during his amateur scene day. So I'm really interested in seeing how this will work out for him, if this will actually work in the pro scene. And Kalista, she has been coming back actually slowly.
Marcus played that one as well.
Yeah. So on Mineski's side, of course, a little bit more of a traditional composition that we've seen. Again, they'll be sticking with there's the element of protection once again in the form of the Ivern and the Karma plus the Oriana. So a lot of shields, a lot of survivability. So we'll just have to see if this actually transitions to win for them.
Kamukha ni Mirmo si
yung sa Gigabyte Marines.
No, sa Gigabyte Marines.
Ano nga ba pangalan nun? Yung mid laner.
Si Optimus.
Yeah,
Oh my
there
God.
you go. Yeah, he kind of has that Optimus vibe.
Sobrang kakatingin kay Optimus, mukha na lang yung natandaan ko. Pero, is that you, Optimus?
Yeah, like, just...
Nakakain ng... But here we go, let's go into our game, ladies and gents. The final game, ladies and gentlemen, unfolds in the Summoner's Rift. This is the second game of our third match here in the second day of the third week of the Pro Gaming Series, Summer 2017, to be played between Acclaim Emperor X versus Mineski. Do take note na 1-0 na po ang Mineski dito sa best of 2 series na to. So, or rather, this 2-game series. So, tingnan natin kung will we have our third 2-0 sweep for the night.
Really interested because Mineski, they've been looking for... It's long overdue right now. We've been expecting, actually, like even at the start of the split, I've been expecting a lot of 2-0s from Mineski. It hasn't been manifesting thus far, but as Kaigu mentioned, they have been working on it, and hopefully this game will finally prove the fruits of their labor in trying to correct the mishaps during the first few weeks of the PGS.
Sa mga instances no na may mga teams na nag-isnag ng paisa-isang win no sa Mineski. Yan even if I'm not mistaken, Asian Arena yata.
Yeah, 1-1.
Nakakuha rin sa kanila, 'di ba? So ito yung malaking katanungan. Do take note that dalawang champions to, di ba? May dalawang team to na has champions in their numbers. The Keystone Masters are available. Grass of the Undying on Sejuani. If you count something that is notable or out of the line here, all are pretty much normal. Even Kled would have Kaigi here the the stacks of damage every time you take hit.
Yes, there you go.
So let's see, ladies and gents.
What I really like about Mineski's composition, it might not seem like it as much, but they actually have a lot of potential to actually take down an isolated target because of that Kled. Imagine, like, as long as they could get their offensive vision on, like, they could charge in later on onto a target that they spot out isolated from the members of AEX and just get the pick up from there, because having gone through that in scrims before, between when we scrim other regions, that's actually what they go for. But not just that, but there's definitely a lot of flexibility, like even in the 5v5s, like if they could get things started first before they get overwhelmed by, again, Galio is such a huge disruptor.
Yeah.
Like no matter, like we saw, no matter how behind he is, even in the early phases, Hero's entrance, the assist that he could rake up to get back into the game as a result, really makes him so OP at this point. One of the reasons actually he's OP, but there's so many.
Yes, and one of the champions who just recently flexed its way into the meta rin. I'm actually very interested on the matchup here sa top lane. Not every day you can see Sejuani fighting again an mounted warrior, let's say Commodore General nga na Kled sa top lane, especially if that Kled rolls in a fervor for battle. Pero mapapansin natin kung Canon nga did take the gas of the Undying, so it's like a statement that he might be willing to take the trade. Do take note that after the mid-season update, si Sejuani naman ay has an improved, dueling capabilities. A little bit of trade up here in the mid lane. Pero, napaka-telegraph kasi ng Garena, and kulang yung finishers niya.
Yeah,
natin.
And like, regardless, if you're gonna look at it, Waken invested quite the number of mana there. Well, Exosen is still fairly above half either way. So, unless Chamso actually gets the gank on, then it's gonna be a pretty, like you mentioned, very telegraphed indeed. It's very typical Galio. This is the thing about Galio. He's OP, but there's not really as much creativity.
That is true.
It's pretty much the same thing over and over and over and over again, regardless when it comes to clashes, hero's entrance in, disrupt your enemy, and mission accomplished, and then wins up war dealing the damage that it is to clear out. Man.
A bulky machine with lots of fancy kits.
There
Parang ganon. And considering that, I'm really curious kung ano na nga ba ang sitwasyon ng mid lane Galio ngayon after the nerf on the Doran's ring. Making the passive unique, which actually allows, reduces the option of the tendency ng mga players. Even actually, sabi nga nung iba, hindi na talaga na mag-stack ka ng Doran's ring.
And what's interesting here is that going into this game, a little bit of a fun fact, it's actually Mirmo's birthday today. So, maybe, baka yun yung lucky charm ng AEX ngayon na makaka-rake ng 1-1 against Mineski. But, I mean, it could go either way. It could be a great birthday gift for him, or unfortunately, wag naman sana. Although, for Mineski, that's what they're hoping.
Ang masaya sa birthday, manalo-matalo yung AEX dito. Pwede silang mag-celebrate, di ba?
Yeah.
At least my birthday. Ayan.
Yeah.
And pwede nyo na rin ako pasalamatan mga summoners kasi i-remind ko po kayo na bukas ay Father's Day. Ayan. So, sa ating mga anak, to the sons and the daughters watching this stream, don't forget to greet your father. Ayan, yung mga iday, mga nagbibigay sa atin ng baon para makapaglaro tayo ng League of Legends ng Happy Father's Day. Bukas po yan.
Nako.
And so, going back into this game, pickaxe para kay Zensho dito. First double long sword ang kinuha dito ni Nemo on the next back. Interesting. Is this a bug? Is the tether on ano no? Is the tether, I mean, he's connected na mismo kay Vanguard eh.
Yeah.
Pero yung item niya from the passive andun pa rin.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Visual bug.
But Tamsu.
Universe Tamsu here in the bottom lane. There's also, if the focus resolve won't be enough to stop Tamsu on his jacks. And give regeneration for Karma. Medyo ramdam yung nerf doon. Another death sentence onto Zensho. Of course, a flash out on him. One turret hit, one last tick. Doesn't even need to proc the range stacks as Mirmo will get a kill against Zensho. One on Mirmo and it's interestingly one on Vanguard.
Grabe, happy birthday Mirmo indeed.
Maganda
Yun is a bot lane. Great start for him.
Maganda yung regalo ni Tamsu.
Yeah.
Ay, Mirmo. Tapos isang torre pa.
Yeah, I mean, this turret is taking a lot of damage and TG is actually still quite far away. But then again, Hummus is in the vicinity.
Yes, and there's a teleport as well. Do take note, the Summer Spell has been burned on this one. There is the Kled ult. Nice! Sidestep! Lumagpas yan! Lumagpas si Kled! Hindi nakapara ng tama. And here comes Awaken na Galio. Ladies and gents, for the mid lane, that's the power of this Galio. Hindi niya kailangang, Canon has the freedom to not use his, actually, has the freedom to at least push this top lane kahit wala siyang teleport kasi pwede pa rin ma-even yung numbers in the bot lane just because of the Galio.
Great positioning by AEX right there. When Kaigo went in, like he wasn't able to connect onto anybody. So I like the forethought by AEX right there. They knew where they should not be when they heard that charge. So, man. Really good start for AEX indeed.
Alam mo yung moment na sumisigaw ka na ng para nakalagpas yung bus, di ba? Nakalagpas yung bus.
Maglalakad ka pa onti as a result. So
pwede yung i-cancel ni Kaigo if I'm not mistaken yung ult na yun, di ba?
No, you can't. Like, you have to commit full on.
Kaya pala.
The only time
is kapag may nabangga.
Yeah,
kapag pwede ka matigitan. Alright. So that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. So far, the legendary mid lane Fiora still sticking onto me. Team is making good waves right now in this standard game.
What's interesting is that when you hear that charge come up, parang based sa mga previous games natin, usually may nangyayaring action eh. Pero that was very anticlimactic in a sense na it didn't really connect onto anybody. Plus the fact that Awaken was there for the extra precaution na hindi matuloy ng MSK yung aggression nila. So overall, it's really good on AEX's part. Pero commendably, at the same time, you have to take note, looking at the goal difference, there's not even any good difference to speak of.
You have to take note that so far, ginigit-git ng Mineski po dito ang AEX. Do take note that there's a visible lead here mula kay Zensho compared to Mirmo. Not to mention as well of Exosen compared to Awaken. We have to give to Awaken though na umalis si Awaken sa lane. But look at that, kahit umalis si Kaigo rin sa lane, pantay lang sila ng CS dito, ni Canon.
Nako. I wonder how, kasi gaya nga nang na-mention natin, birthday ni Mirmo ngayon. And I know for a fact that Mirmo, gaya nga nang sinabi ko, he came from the amateur scene. So, sa mga fans, sa mga dating teammates na nanonood kay Mirmo, baka lagot siya. Because like, a lot of people are probably, asa nang blow at Mirmo, asa nang blow. Lalo pag nag-1-1 sila ngayon.
Oops.
But yeah, here we go. We have a little bit of a skirmish going on.
There. But what would matter is actually the jump from Damsu. That did not connect. There is the shockwave. So he could punish Damsu. That actually brings the jungler below half health. Minsan okay yun eh, yung i-all-in mo yung jungler kahit hindi ka makakuha ng kill because that means it would make it harder for him to come the other lane. Meanwhile, in the top lane, let's see can Kaigo duel this one. There is the passive. Babalik ulit si Scar. Let's go! And he has the ult. He charged in under turret but will have a round of the Scar. One last hit. There's a regeneration. Hindi siya tumag sa wall. Siya nung makabal, mga kaibigan. Of course, from the queue, It's a 1-4-1, but that is such a nice trade up between these two. You know, Mountain Lady and of course Mountain General.
Yeah, look at how fast that Scarl actually regenerated onto Kaigu. So, we
Alam-
actually have a but not connect. But yeah,
Alam ni Kaigo kung kailan mag-trade, and that's what makes a good Kled player. It's actually one of the things na nakakalimutan ng mga Kled player na sometimes it's okay to go ham, lalo pa kung alam mo na makukuha mo yung auto-attack passives, yung movement speed na yun. But all that's off, there is a sure ball. Dead centers na connect dito kay Zencho. That is a Caitlyn sure kill on that one, knowing that he has no flash and all that PG can do is walk away.
oh wow. I mean, AEX definitely, this is a different story that we're seeing unfold in comparison to the last game. And technically, partida pa. We've been talking about how OP the Galio is. If anything, ang contribution pa lang ni Awaken na definitive was preventing Mineski from the aggression earlier.
Yes.
Pero other than that, it's mostly other members of Mineski that have been stepping up in this game. What more once Awaken starts going for these full 5v5s with that Galio?
Yes, ang kailangan ng bantayan din dito ng AEX is that hindi nagpapabaya si EXO. Right now, he has a steady lead in the mid lane. He doesn't even lift that one, making sure that he keeps Awaken at bay, punish him as much as possible. And do take note that sometimes all it takes to turn a game to your favor is a one shockwave, you know, one nice shockwave.
What's tricky pa dito is that looking at the composition that AEX is right now, we've been talking about how powerful this Galio is. What more palalo? It's technically reminiscent of the draft that AEX had previously, but the difference is that like it's much more sensible in my opinion for it to boot. Plus, imagine how powerful Grimo will be. What? Oh!
But hold on, ang hirap nito. Dalawang malaking champion did collapse onto EXO Sen, and that actually flawless. KD is now tainted 0-1-0, the mid laner of Mineski.
Man. But yeah, as I've been saying, imagine how scary these clashes will be once Mirmo starts skyrocketing, but here we have a fight.
Wow, Bunker just added to this. That Santa just managed to actually give a little bit of feeds coming in from Kaigu. He is punishing members of AEX, but here comes Awaken knowing na walang makaka-respond kay EXO. Dito may masyadong late, but there is the teleport completed coming in from Kaigu. This is an overextension coming in from AEX. A sandwich maneuver. Cannon is there to at least stop Kaigu on his dash. Will it be completed? Where's the backup from Mineski with Kaigu? Yet the stacks, will he return start? And yes, he will. This is Kaigu turning things around for his team as he managed to slay two. He's aiming to take the third one with the support of Zencho. Cannon would be charging out of the fight, but in the end, so it seems, I think it's a 3-4-1 exchange.
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. I think things started going south for AX in that fight once Mirmo actually started flashing in, became a little bit too over-aggressive right there. But yeah, we'll be able to check that out in the replay right here. So actually, here we go. Awaken gonna go in for the Hero Center. So they actually almost get Teachy here. Pero yeah, Mirmo actually needs to flash in. And then as a result, Awaken. So they actually start really committing here. Pero what really turned things around here was once Kaigu started wreaking havoc onto AX right here. Like I mentioned, because of this overcommit right here coming from AX, it actually catches Mirmo and Awaken in an awkward position. That was the fact that Daisy is alive. They didn't account for that. That knockup really started causing so much disruption for AX. Plus, it granted Kaigo the opportunity to get the Scarl back, and Mineski, hashtag MSK wins for this clash right here.
You know what's so interesting about Kled? Is that kapag nawala si Scarl, I know the hitbox stays on. Pero, I mean, pag nawala si Scarl, parang lumilit si Kled. Alam mo, parang hirap na hanapin sa lahat. So, on that consolidated fight, yung kumpul-kumpul sila, talaga nakakuha lang ng breed si dito, Kaigo dito. To the point na nakabalik si Scarl kaagad. Pangalawang moment na yun, ang bilis nakuha kaagad ni Kaigo si Scarl. Okay. They managed to take in AEX, that is the Reef Herald. But Mineski has clear vision on them where they will escape. Rather, what is set for the top lane is Zencho.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned at the end of the day, AEX, they actually have a pretty solid composition. That being said, they just need to avoid those very awkward scenarios, and they have to respect Kaigo at this point, without a doubt. I mean, not only is Kaigo way ahead, 4-1 on the split, plus the CS difference between him and Cannon is definitely... I mean, Cannon really needs to catch up at this point, because gaya nga ng kanina, in order for Mirmo and Tamsu to just deal optimal damage across the board, they need a solid front line to rely on. And until such time that Cannon and Awaken and even Vanguard can soak up all that damage to make sure that MSK, Mineski, couldn't get onto Mirmo and Tamsu, then they're just gonna have to be a little bit more patient and not overcommit too much, not be over-ambitious.
And the thing about ATC is that hindi mo pa rin pwede i-ignore si Zensho once nabuo niya yung IEP dito. Especially if that Zensho is standing on the brush, set it up by Hammond's Ivern. So kahit parang may pagka-behind si Zensho dito sa larong to, once that eye is built up, there's a clear spike in the power level and offensive capabilities dito ng Mineski. Not to mention that AEX may want to reconsider taking up siege in front of Mineski.
Yeah, so Mineski actually going to be backing away from this for the meantime. Pero then again, AEX is actually pushing up this top lane, but we do see a recall from Tamsu, so looks like things will be safe and sound in the top lane for the meantime. I was actually expecting, if anything, like some level of action, because AEX is on the offense right now, pushing out this lane. So that won't be the case for the meantime.
At least surpresahin man lang yung dalawa sa top lane. No?
Yeah, exactly.
Pero let's see.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's still so much work. There's so much AEX rather, could work on based on meeting their win conditions. Like we mentioned, Mirmo is already there. He already has a significant witness about it. But here we go, we have a fight.
But they still go for the engage. Actually, they're just waiting out for maybe an engage coming in from Mineski. Pero ang aga nagpakita ni Tamsu dito, because Ivern would be joining this fight. It would be the nice moment na lumabas sana si Tamsu nung, ka-cut off sana si James dito.
And that's one of the problems that I had with AEX kanina. If you guys saw right there, AEX instantly took down Daisy. That was actually one of the reasons why that fight went wrong in a way and was prolonged and granted Kaigu the opportunity to just skyrocket. It's because Daisy didn't account for taking down Daisy right away. But here we go, we have a little bit of a skirmish. Kaigu actually fighting it off with Cannon.
And he is that confident to actually ignore Cannon and just go for the tower.
Yeah.
Damage for the tower. But going all in on the tower, is that like a clear signal that there is a rotation call na mula kay Kaigu, or mukhang may buo yata dito si Kaigu. My guess is it will be Boots. And considering the champions here of AEX, was thinking of Decisive, but of course, why not Galio? Thresh would be picking up the merchants here. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, there's teleport available onto Kaigu. He's gonna be channeling it, and that is the time for AEX to call it quits. Who will be that? Casual is gonna collapse onto Kaigu. Gonna be prioritized. Vanguard and Awaken would be going for the heroic entrance. Where's the follow-up damage coming in from Mineski? They're gonna focus Awaken? I don't think so. Now onto Exosen. So at the end of the day, it's Kaigu that was punished in the top lane.
Oh man, that's the tricky part right there. We have been talking about how Kaigu is performing excellently on this glide, but what happened right there is that since he got collapsed on without as much support from the members of Mineski, he was a little bit in too deep. AEX, all 5 members just kind of went full on him. And that's one of those scenarios where technically you don't want, that's one of the scenarios that Kaigu does not want to be in, wherein there isn't a clear follow-up. If anything, I'm not sure if that was a miscom for Mineski.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, because Mirmo was left.
Yeah, so look at what happened here. So actually, look at 5 members of Mineski onto Kaigu's case right here. Oh, okay, so that's what happened. It's actually the hero's entrance from Awaken that prevented Mineski from following up onto Kaigu. So, wow, actually, good job. Again, this is the power of the Galio that we're seeing manifesting for AEX. If anything, that would have went way good for Mineski had that not happened. That single hero sentence from preventing Mineski from following up.
And this is going to be big. This is going to be nice for any of these two teams to actually take this Infernal break. And you can see na both of them have no plans of giving it up. Where's the Shockwave connected to the 3 members dito ng AEX? That's gonna be Mirmo joining the fight this time along with the Infernal break. And it seems that Mineski getting pushed back. Kaigu's taking a lot of hits, but it would be Awaken who proves to be the better judge as Mirmo along with Tamsu and the rest of the backline of AEX. Mob out Mineski on the blue side jungle. They'll be ignoring that Infernal Drake. May aim for the push, may aim for the target, may aim to try to kill Exo-Sen, but he can kite out. Let's see, he's buying time. Mirmo did not connect the Pierce. Scout, huling hit. Nice sidestep by Mirmo. This birthday boy is just crazy.
Oh man, the luck is definitely in Mirmo's favor right now. It looks like AEX, will they be transitioning this into a Baron? I mean, looking at this, and it looks like they are. So
They are.
there we go. Hamas though will actually have a slow walk to the Baron, but if ever Mineski kind of smells that out. But in the end, I believe AEX will be able to take a Baron uncontested.
But they might get wiped though. Sino yung kasama ni Amis dito? That is Ivern. There's death sentence. You don't need to go for that fish. And yeah, power trickle for everyone.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and check out what happened here. So if anything, I feel like Mineski had a decent start. They actually got the Shockwave, 3-man Shockwave onto AX. It's just that if you look at the damage, medyo kulang, and they weren't able to take down Vanguard right away. So that being said, Miro actually got the utility out of Vanguard for the knockup in that case. And look at Awaken just going full ham onto the front line on Mineski. That Mineski just forced to back away at this point. And it was definitely AEX's fight. If anything, happy birthday Mirmo, paulit-ulit ako. Pero that's clearly what's happening for him. He is having a field day in this game right now.
And ayan, we want to see actually the sidestep there by Mirmo.
Oh yeah.
And ayun!
Mirmo mechanics, please.
That was so good, man. That was very satisfying. Like,
yeah.
at that Q connected, dahil sa circle on Mirmo, pero the mechanics prove otherwise. And I think yung situation ngayon dito ng Mineski is they have a nice setup. The problem here is the follow-up damage. We don't know na hindi na ganun ka-popular yung nuance rush on Caitlyn because of the nerfs on the headshot. And kung ikukumpara mo yung damage output dun sa team fight nung dalawang ADC, it cannot be denied. Alam natin may lead si Mirmo, but it cannot be denied that Mirmo is really shredding to all of the front line. Whereas Zensho, tanging ang AoE niya lamang is yung Peacemaker. Dahil pa nakakuha siya ng headshot procs, isang target lamang yung natitira niya. And who can that be? It is Canon, it is Awaken, very durable targets mula sa AEX at ayun yung problema ngayon. They're relying heavily on Exo-Sen for the AoE damage. But sometimes hindi ganun nakakaluwag yung sa Exo-Sen para makapag-deal ng damage. That was a nice shockwave, but again, damage. Nasaan yung damage?
Exactly.
Follow-up damage.
And these are the problems that Mineski is having right now. Like, I think Kaigu was kind of the lifeline that Mineski had to get back into this game.
Oh, at least blank Mirmo, no?
Yeah, exactly. But again, because of the lack of follow-ups, technically it's not that Mineski isn't going for follow-up. It's just that they get disrupted so hard by these variables such as Canon, Sejuani, Awakens Galio. So, tapos put Sejuani and Galio together on one team, like two champions which are pretty prominent in this patch. That spells lots and lots of trouble for Mineski right now.
Zensho should spam traps here, but he gets fished out. Receives the Q. That's very dangerous.
But if anything, I gotta commend Mineski though. It's refreshing to see a composition that actually works na, like we've been talking about how OP Galio is, pero it's actually, this is a composition that's actually working well for them. It's just, if anything, the positioning, you have to play positioning to a T in this case para hindi kayo, hindi ma-full benefit si Awaken sa pag-disrupt niya with the Galio.
Yeah, medyo mahirap dito. Actually, dapat mas lamang sa 6 dito yung Mineski. They have defensive capabilities, but Vanguard is just adding. My birthday rin si Vanguard. Siguro love like mga kaibigan, as all those death sentence has been on point, ladies and gents.
Oh man, and with an inhibitor down, it definitely grants a lot more breathing room for AX here. Mineski, their backs against the wall right now. Will they be able to come back into the game? That's the big question on my head right now. And with the gold deficiency right now, I mean, if you're gonna look at the number of deaths, hindi siya ganong karami. But because of how prominent AEX is right now, not a single turret to Mineski's name, hindi pa sila naka-down ng kahit isa man lang. So, objectives are fully in, well, hindi naman fully kasi AEX doesn't even have a single Drake rather. So, Mineski has those 2 Drakes, pero it's not really manifesting into anything for Mineski right now because they couldn't really deal as, well, they have the tools to go 5v5 with AEX. It's just that ang laking differential talaga ng Glacial Prison ni Canon and then Hero's Entrance from Awaken, the disruption from both sides na Mineski couldn't really utilize this composition to the T right now. Even with all the protection.
Like, such a good APC, no?
Yeah.
Ever since simula pa LCL and now in PGS, I was only thinking, pero only thinking na nun, when I saw him in LCL, pang PGS caliber siya. And now, he's really doing well here.
Yeah, and
sa PGS.
to be honest, I mean, I may be hyping Mirmo a lot because it's with good reason. Being one of the people which has followed this journey from Piltover's Finals, and then like you mentioned, he has gone through LCL. So it's nice to see that AEX picked up such a great talent. And I think with this game showing it's a decision that they're not regretting at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is ACA steadily. Dahan-dahan lumalapit mismo sa base dito ng MSK. By this time, I would really ask Zenshu to actually set up the traps. Mismo dito rin sa bot lane inhibitor tower ng MSK. They have the brushes, they have the traps. The only problem is this open mid lane, pero by design, they should be able to defend this one. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, mapanganib rin talaga humarap, lalo pat kay Canon. You would want the vision really. I think they gotta control. Actually, they have a control ward sa harapan ng base. Wala, pero it should be enough at least to destroy any wards that is laid outside by Mineski. So, siege ang habol dito ng AEX.
Oh man, AEX, I mean, without the Baron buff right now, regardless, they're just pressuring Mineski right now to try to defend the tower. But look at how fast they're clearing out these waves without the Baron empowerment. So, Mineski could actually hold their own right now. I mean, one of the reasons why they got heavily pushed in, it's not necessarily because of AX's composition. I mean, probably 20% I could definitely attribute it. But because, at the same time, I feel like it's because of the Baron buff that helped AX to just heavily push in. Because technically, siege-wise, it's not as prominent, I'd say, in comparison to Mineski.
Alright. So, ayun ayun yung i-think na kahinaan ng composition ng Mineski. Duting naman maikli ang range po. Kaya naman hindi ganun kadali talaga mag-push ng Torre. All you need to do is just really set up trap field, you know? Jordan snap trap para dito kay Lilian and yourself. Kaya nga, medyo nakakasurpresa na nabuksan yung meeting.
And you know, AX has to be a little bit more careful, I'd say, because as the longer this game goes, they're definitely granting the opportunity to Mineski to get back into this game. Sure, AX has a great lead thus far. They definitely have a lot of... The towers are absolutely 7-1 right now. Only one tower taken down by Mineski. But yeah, they're definitely granting Mineski the opportunity to get back into this game. I mean, but if anything, there's still a lot of groundwork to cover for Mineski to do so. But the opportunity is definitely there because of the fact that AX couldn't really push as fast without the Baron.
So there's our match and win code.
Oh, there you go. So Star Guardian Janna.
Oh, ang lalabas. Okay. Yan, para mag-support naman kayo.
Yeah, mag-support naman kayo, guys. Wag naman puro bida. Well, yeah.
Wag naman puro yaso. Alright, I do recall, I was really curious kung hanggang ngayon ba yung fill role still equates to support role.
Oo nga eh.
Kasi so far ng introduction nga nung gano'n, field role equates to support role. But going back in this game, that's taken a steady pace kasi I think it should be understood here that AEX needs to take the fight outside the base of Mineski or at least outside the choke point. Okay?
Exactly. And I gotta hand it to Kaigo. He's the saving grace for Mineski right now. Charge in onto Awaken.
And yeah, managed to destroy Awaken. So that's a -1. 4v5 potentially para sa Baron. And that makes things tricky mismo dito para sa AEX.
Mineski could get back into this game.
Yes.
What they have to do is just they have to weave around, present some extremely fancy footwork to sidestep a lot of the CC coming in from Awaken and Canon. And especially with Kaigo, like I mentioned, he's the lifeline for Mineski right now. Now if they could take down targets like Tamsu and Mirmo faster, then that's where they'll thrive so heavily.
Do take note, they have an Infernal. They have an Infernal.
Yeah.
Okay, taken. The next upcoming Drake would be Infernal. Check those two objectives, Baron and Infernal, then that should be nice for them. This is not good for Vanguard. That is definitely a required flash to be burnt here. But not even worse for is that PG? That is on PG. Gonna call out here by Mirmo. Now that should be dangerous now for Mineski. This is a 4v5 under the Baron. Let's see. Do take note na napakabilis po nitong pwedeng makuha ng AEX. This is a Kalista. On the 2k health mark of Baron, It can be taken. Double teleport, ladies and gentlemen, and Awaken should be the tank against the 3 members dito ng AEX. Hamis is actually inside the base going. Let's see. That is the block from the Kalista. Coordinated signal from the Smite plus the Red Box, and that should be the Baron for AEX with Mirmo melting the health gear. Oh, nice.
Oh man, that didn't quite go well for Mineski, and I gotta attribute it to the fact that because they did not have PG in that fight, they didn't have the shields to really last as long as they can. Like I mentioned, one of the strengths of Mineski's composition is that they have so much protection coming in from, they have the shield from Thomas, they have Exogen as well, disruption from Daisy as well. There's so many things that work for them in these matches that losing a PG out of that fight was a crucial, crucial for Mineski.
And even Mirmo, hindi siya pumapayag. Natamaan ng shockwave. It seems like napaka-intuitive sa kanya na no way in hell I'm gonna go near that ball.
There you go. And this is Mirmo clearly demonstrating the mechanics that he has and that what I have been seeing of him during the Piltover's Finest series in his amateur days. I keep on preaching it, but I can't help it right now. 9-1-4 on Kalista. Grabe.
Akala ko, pakarinig ko the mechanics that I has. Ganun. Kasi dati ganyan din ako mag-ADC eh.
Wow!
Tulad ni Mirmo. Ang problema, wala pang Kalista.
Yung mga fancy footwork na...
Puro footwork lang, walang last hit.
Ay, wow. Pero yan.
Hindi tinatamaan ng skill kasi hindi lumalapit.
Ay, pero one thing I noticed, 9-1-4, if you can look at how many kills, overall kills AEX has right now, ang laki ng kill participation ni Mirmo. Not to mention, look at the gold manifesting from 14,000 going into 15,000 right now. Grabe.
Tanging 2 kill lamang doon yung walang kinalaman si Mirmo.
Yeah, let's go in what happened here. Like I mentioned, TG is absent from this fight. So that being said, Mineski trying to make what they can because they have to try to contest this Baron. So they go for the M, but then again, it's because of the stack onto the Baron that Mirmo actually secures it. So the smite actually doesn't really matter for AEX at this point. That being said, Kaigu was forced to fend for himself because Mineski couldn't afford to get ace because otherwise AEX has all the utility in the world to finish this game with that Baron. So I mean, even though that was the fight that was bad for Mineski without PG, that being said, I like the fact that they restrained from getting ace.
Would that be enough? Where is the heroic entrance? And there we go! The knockup, ladies and gentlemen, as members of Mineski are getting popped one by one. Mirmo is gone. So let's see. Ascension is trying his best as these fend of members here of AEX. Kaigu as well. It's still a 2v1. Can he make it? Can the Commodore General make this one? He gets all of the crowd controls from these 2 CC monsters from AEX, but he will ignore that. He will have Skarl returning for him. One last hit, one last thought, and there is Skarl. Awaken should know, and he should awake na. And hindi ka agad basta-basta mapapatay itong si Kaigu. This is like a pseudo Fiora against him, and in the end, it seems na na-depensan ito ng Mineski. I think that's at 1 Cosmic, not at the cost of 2 Nexus turns.
Yeah, I think the tricky part there was it looked like because technically Vanguard and Awaken, I feel like they could have escaped. It's just the fact that the reason why they were staying so long in the clash was there. Let's go ahead and check out the replay right here. So again, a lot of members, this is the problem that Mineski has. They were so grouped together that it allowed an easy hero's entrance for Awaken. There's a lot of disruption in that. So at that point, it was almost a clean up onto Mineski. The saving grace once again, I gotta hand it. Kaigu really performing and showing up in this game. Very yeah, like I was saying here, if you guys notice, so Vanguard and Awaken, gaya nga nasabi ko, I feel like they had all the potential to actually go back and save themselves. It's just that, look at this. As a result, their staying power resulted to allowing the minions to continue to be empowered by Baron. So while Kaigo was distracted taking down those members, like the super wave, Baron empowered minion waves were doing their work on the Nexus turret of Mineski.
And this is crazy, man. Is that correct? I think, I'm not so sure kung may nakuha dito, tricks yung AEX. But you'll still see, do note lang na yung Baron nga yung latest nakuha dito ng AEX. Okay, so right now, what is very visible is that AEX is having difficulties pushing Mineski side lanes.
And
that's why.
Not just that, but it's been taking a while to close out this game. Because, like I mentioned, one of the tricky parts of AEX here is that they don't clear out waves as strong as Mineski, I'd say. I mean, they do have that clear. It's just that Mineski clears out faster. They're able to withhold the waves coming in from AEX. So, again, this is one, and Kaido at the same time, is a handful for AEX to deal with right now. Kung titingnan nga natin, that was the perfect flash that AEX had earlier. Hero's entrance knocked up so many people from Mineski. That being said, Kaido continues to be a hindrance onto AEX. Like I keep on saying, over and over again, the lifeline that Mineski has right now. But that being said, ang mahirap pa rin kasi dito, the other carries that could deal damage for Mineski, they still have a bit of a long way-ish to go. Because itemization for the other carries, halos tapos na yung items ng iba eh.
Halos tapos na yung items ng iba. And do take note, aside from the passive of taking Skarl back, there's also the Guardian Angel. Another siege is pulled off here by AEX. This time, they managed to actually step on the doors of Mineski, but there is the shockwave opening onto EXO. Let's see, they have no tower here, but still the free hit is there. Awaken is actually saving his heroic entrance for this fight, and I think it's too late actually, because Mineski will be, actually lalo pa kung si Kaido ang nasa harapan. I think they're overpowering AEX here. This is not good. Sense is taking all those leads. They get movement speed from the dissonance of the Orianna. And after Tamsu using the ground, AEX would just call it quits. They'd be happy trading Tamsu for one turret.
Oh man, just when you think that this game should have been over minutes and minutes ago, there's just so many struggles here for AEX, like I mentioned. Plus the fact that if you're gonna look at that clash, medyo pangit actually yung simula ng AEX in a way, and I think we'll be able to catch that later. Pero that being said, the longer this game goes, Mineski, they're able to actually withstand some of the CC coming in from AEX. Nako.
And it looks like positional mistake ha. Mula sa AEX, there's teleport available from Galio. He will not channel it. There is a one ward to teleport into. Let's see if can this be the deciding fight. Zensus actually in the back of the Baron. It was secured by Mineski. Let's see what will happen here. Sensor is actually crowd controlled. He gets the free hit. He managed to walk up the fence of the Baron, but Awaken is still there to wipe him off as AEX, along with the Fear Machine in the front line and along with Awaken in the back line, catching Senso. This might be it, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be trying to chase Exo Sen, and I think they can as they tag him. It's an ace. 38 minutes into the game. It's only a matter of time before the team from Iloilo and Mirmo, happy birthday, will take this second game.
Oh man, happy birthday indeed, Mirmo. Grabe yung fight na yun. The problem in that fight was Mineski was caught out in the Baron Pit. Runan's Hurricane was doing the work for Mirmo a lot. Kaya, magkakatikit, worked well for them. Congratulations, Acclaim Empire.
Akala ko magda-drag yun pa.
I know.
Oo, akala ko parang mahihirapan pa. Pero, you know, it's always been Mineski's bane and boon yung Baron.
Yeah, for some reason, now that you mention it.
As I recall, GPL memories na naman to. Pero, reviewing that game, I'd say it is on Mirmo.
Without a doubt. I'm not sure if it's... I think it's not... we keep on saying it's the birthday boss, but at the end of the day, I've been talking about how mechanically gifted Mirmo is, and it's manifested in that game without a doubt. The positioning on this Kalista, plus the fact... Then the teamwork again from AEX to protect Mirmo at the same time. So.
Yes. And mentioning as well, kasi tinatry natin intindihan kung ano yung pwedeng commander kay Mirmo. We do know that one of the players from Mineski here, Kaigo, is actually snowballing her as well against Canon in the top lane. Pero kasi si Canon, etong si Juani, hindi naman ito ganun ka-hungry when it comes to scaling ito item. All he needs is to land those crowd controls and, you know, be a tank in the front line. All he needs experience for that, levels for that, and he said he is good. Okay? Ang iniisip ko is if Kaigo goes for the backline and target Mirmo, mawawala naman ang decent front line yung Mineski. Ang iniisip ko lang sana, what about consistent ball delivery system on Mirmo? Pero, that's why I concluded that it is on Mirmo. It is because he doesn't allow himself to really big catch. No?
Not at all.
Even lalo pa ng shockwave.
That was a chaotic game overall, back and forth. I feel it went longer than I should have, in my opinion. Pero let's go ahead and check out the standings as a result. Of course, sitting at the top one spot right now, Team Manila Eagles securing the spot into Rampage.
10-0. Wow.
Man.
That is big. That is massive, ladies and gents. And that is Mineski is cementing their spot on number 3. 5-5. 6 points, ladies and gentlemen. Whereas Acclaim Emperor X 5-5 then 6 points din po. Actually, after that loss by Mineski, so 1-1. itong series natin. So, well, tayo pa rin sila. Okay, tie on third. So, hindi pa naman tapos. Hindi pa naman tayo nagde-determine minus TME ng ating playoff slots. Pero, ayan, that will still be broken. Depende kung ano yung mga outcome pa nung natitirang matches dito. I think they still have 2 per team, no? Oo,
almost.
kasi they all have 10 matches, so they have overall 14 matches. I mean, they have 7 matches, and they've already played 5. So, ayan, ladies and gentlemen, and that is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, baka last week na nga kung meron silang tigdalawang match on Friday and Saturday.
Depende pa. Because like TNC, they've only played 3 matches so far. So actually, si TNC pang medyo marami na
may hahabol pa.
So, ang laki pa ng potential ng mga nasa bottom na mag-i-surpass yung mga nasa top. Kasi, like you mentioned, yung iba, marami ng games na nalaro. So, that being said, lalo sa TNC is a threat right now. But of course, tingnan natin kung magmamanifest yan in week 4.
Kakalabanin ng Team Manila Eagles ng TNC. Isa pa yun sa mga hindi nila natatalo. At di pa naman nakakalaban, ladies and gentlemen. For more updates on those schedules, understandings, and of course, news and articles about the Pro Gaming Series, be sure to check out our website, esports.garena.ph/BGS. Be sure to like our Facebook page as well. Search lang ang Garena Pro Gaming Series. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a very interesting Saturday evening. Fioramin, ladies and gentlemen, but AEX has relieved themselves, closing the series 1-1-2-0 para sa Team Manila Eagles and 2-0 rin para sa Iber Pro Team. Yeah, game house na napagsasama ko yung dalawa, Iber Pro Team, and again, 1-1 between AEX and MSK. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been your shoutcasters for this game. I am Shinbu with a 1 for an I, and with my partner, Coach Artie, at your service. Maraming salamat po sa mga summoners na nakasama namin ngayong gabi. Maglaro na tayo. Oras na. Mga kaibigan, may baon na. Ika nga. And this is the Pro Gaming Series Summer 2017. Day 2 of the 3rd week. Have a great weekend, guys. Founded Shazari to this that has managed to rise even a bit of beats coming in from Kaigu. He is punching members of AEX, but here comes Awaken, knowing na walang makaka-responding EXO dito may masyadong late. But there is the teleport of Pino coming in from Kaigu. This is an overextension coming in from AEX. A sandwich maneuver, cannon is there to stop Kaigu on his reaction. Really please completed. Where's the backup from Nesty with Kaigu? Get the stacks really hitting her start. And yes, he will. This is Kaigu turning this around for his team as he managed to slay 2. He's aiming to take the 3rd one with the support of Zencho Cannon. Will be charging. Picking up the first next year. Ladies and gentlemen, there's teleport available on Kaigu. He's going to be channeling in, and that is the time for AEX to call him in. Who will be that? That's what's going to collapse onto Kaigu. Going to be prioritized Vanguard, and Awaken would be going for the heroic entrance. Where's the follow-up damage coming in from the nest? There to focus Awaken, I don't think so. Now on to Exo Sen. No plans of giving it up. Where's the shockwave? Gonna send the 3 members dito ng AEX. That's gonna be Mirmo joining the fight this time along with the Infernal Dragon. It seems that Mines is getting pushed back. Kai's starting a lot of hits, but it would be Awaken who proves to be the better judge as Mirmo along with Damsu and the rest of the backline of AEX. Mop out Mineski on the blue side jungle. Part of Baron. It can be taken. Double teleport. Ladies and gentlemen, Awaken should be the tank against the 3 members dito ng AEX. Hamis is actually inside the base going. Let's see. That is the block from the Kalista. Coordinated signal from the Smite plus the Red Box. And that should be the Baron for AEX with Irmo. Melting it down
That was
here.
the fight that's bad for Mineski without TP. That being said, I like the fact that they restrain getting
would that be enough? Where is the heroic entrance? And there we go! The knockup, ladies and gentlemen, as members of MSK are getting popped 1 by 1. Mimino is gone. So let's see as Censor's trying his best on these band of members here of AEX. Kaigu as well. It's still a 2v1. Can he make it? Can the Commodore General make this one? He gets all of the crowd controls from these 2 CC monsters from AEX, but he will ignore that. He will have Scar returning for him. One last thought, and there is Scar. Awaken should know, and he should win na Eh, hindi ka agad basta-basta mapapatay itong si Kaigo. He's like up on the doors of MSK, but there is the shockwave opening onto EXO. Let's see, they have no tower here, but still the free hit is there. Awaken is actually saving his heroic entrance for this fight, and I think it's too late actually because MSK will be actually lalo pa kung si Kaigo ang nasa harapan. I think they're overpowering AEX here. This is not good. Sense is taking all those things taken from the channel here. There is a one ward to teleport into. Let's see if can this be the deciding fight. Sense is actually at the back of the battle. It was secured by Mineski. Let's see what will happen here. Senso is actually crowd controlled. He gets the free hit. He managed to walk up the fence of the Baron, but Awaken is still there to wipe him off as AEX, along with the Fear Machine in the front line and along with Awaken in the back line, catching Senso. This might be it, ladies and gentlemen. They're gonna be trying to chase EXO Sen, and I think they can as they tag him. It's an ace. 38 minutes into the game. It's only a matter of
doing the work for him a lot. Kaya, kakadikit, worked well for them. Congratulations, Lane Empire.
Akala ko